For our standing leg strength exercises, we will be incorporating a little bit of balance if you'd like. The chair is here for support if you need it. If you would like to incorporate a little bit more balance into the exercises, you can either just keep a finger on the chair or hover a hand, but always make sure that you are safe. So if you do need to keep a hand on the chair the whole time, please do so. I'm going to give you the side view for this first one. So I'm just going to move my chair to the side so you can see. So for this first one, we're going to do our leg swings forward and back. Going to maintain that upright posture, shoulders over the hips, core is engaged, head pulled back, bottom of the chin parallel to the floor. And we're going to keep the leg relatively straight. And I say relatively straight because we want it to be straight, but we don't want to be locking out the knee. So if you have a tendency to lock out the knee, just put a micro bend in the knee. I'm going to stand a little bit off to one side of the chair so I have clearance for my leg. Standing up tall, hands going to be on the chair to start for support. And that standing leg will have that soft bend in the knee, so we're activating through those muscles. We'll first start to lift one leg forward as high as is comfortable. Make sure you're not leaning back or changing the position of the spine, so it doesn't have to be too far forward, and then pass through and then straight back behind us. Make sure those toes stay pointing forward the whole time. So we'll lift forward any amount, working the fronts of the legs, the hip flexors, and then drop back behind, working the back of the legs. So 3 more rounds, moving slow and with control. And if you would like to incorporate a little bit of the balance, then you can keep a finger on the chair or even hover your hand over the chair. But do whatever you feel is also very safe. And then one last time, you'll feel a lot of work in the standing leg as well. So both legs are getting some good work. And then go ahead and shake it out. We are going to stay on the same side of the chair, so that standing leg will still be your standing leg for the next set of exercises. Let's stand up tall. This time we're going to do a leg circle. So we will draw that same leg that you lifted before, forward, little circle out, and then back and together. So we'll draw the leg forward, out, back, and together. So the size of the circle is up to you. You can keep it relatively small or a little bit larger. Make sure you're not twisting through the hips. So upper half of the body stays nice and stable. Let's do 2 more times. Working the fronts, the sides, and the back of the legs. Last time. And then together. And then you can shake it out, wiggle it out. Now, let's move in the opposite direction of our circle. So standing up tall, core engaged. Find a nice, smooth and deep way of breathing. And we'll draw the leg back, out, forward, and together. So as smooth of a circle as you can. If your circle turns out to be more of an oval, that's fine. We just don't want the circle to end up as a triangle or a square or any shape with long and hard edges or corners. And then we'll do one more time. That standing leg is getting a lot of work, especially for the hip. That's good mobilization and stabilization muscles. Let's move over to the other side. I'm just going to move my chair over here so you can still see my front foot. So let's stand up tall. And then we're switching over to the other leg. So that standing leg now will have that soft bend in the knee. And then first we'll draw the leg forward. Remember, it doesn't have to be too high. Toes stay pointing forward the whole time so they don't go out to the side, and then drop back. Feel the work of the back of the body. So forward slowly and with control, and then drop back. And if you'd like to add a little bit more of the balance challenge, only if it's safe for you to do so, you can come to a fingernail or a fingertip on the chair, or even just hover the hand over the chair. That's a lot more work for the balance, and you'll get some good strength work as well. Last time, moving in slow motion so we don't have a lot of momentum or change the position of our upper body especially. All right, and shake it out. Nice work. Now let's do our leg circles. Same standing leg. And we'll draw the leg forward, out, back, and together. So forward, out, back, and together. Let's do 3 more times on this side. Remember, we always want the joints to be happy. So if you do find that the knee is not feeling so great, please modify or even skip. You can even keep your toes in a little bit of contact with the floor the whole time, as if you're drawing a circle on your floor. All right. And then let's move in the other direction for our circle. So standing up tall, bracing through the core. Let's draw the foot back, out, forward, and together. Back, out, forward, and together. I have my hand on my core just to make sure that it's reminding me that I need to engage through those core muscles the whole time. Let's do 2 more times. If you'd like, you can play with the balance, but we're moving in a very slow and controlled manner. And then go ahead and shake it out. All right, for this next exercise, I'm going to draw the chair so it's pointing back forward again. All right, so I've got my chair forward. I'm going to step to the side so you can see. And hand on the chair for support. We're going to be doing kind of a little curtsy. So hand can stay on the chair for support the whole time, or if you'd like to work on the balance, you can lift it up. So I'm going to step out with one leg, and then this other leg will go back behind, and then I'm going to bend through the knees, almost like doing a little curtsy. We want to make sure that that front knee doesn't go past the toes, tracks towards the center of the toes. And we also want to make sure that the shoulders and the hips point forward, so we're not twisting. That can affect the knee. So a little bend, and then stand up, and then together. So you'll feel some work in that glute, the buttock muscle. So step out, back behind, little curtsy, make sure those knees are in good position, up, and then together. Let's do 3 more times, slow and with control. You can take a quick look, make sure the knee doesn't go past the toes and that it is tracking towards the center of the toes for the front knee. Really feel the squeeze, especially when you come back up to a standing position. And one last time, little curtsy. Keep a nice lift in the chest so you're not looking down. And then together. All right, let's move over to the other side. So we'll step out, set the other foot back behind, bend in the knees, make sure the knee is in the proper alignment, and then up, and then together. Out, step back, little curtsy, and then up, and then together. So let's do that 3 more times. If you want to work on the balance and it's safe for you to do so, maybe you're just having the hand hover over the chair. So find what works best for you. Always making sure that front knee is in proper position. We want to keep that front knee safe so it doesn't go past the toes and it tracks towards the direction of the center of the toes. Whew. All right. And shake it out. You should feel some good work happening in the glutes or the buttock region. I'm going to go back to this side. So we're just going to move from side to side. Standing next to the chair, hand on the chair for support. And the leg that is furthest away from the chair, I'm going to bend the knee, come onto the toes, and I'm going to open the knee out just to about 45 degrees. You should feel a squeeze on this outer buttock. Squeeze it in, and then draw it back in, and then down. So we'll do the same movement 4 more times. If you want to work on the balance, you can have a hand hovering over the chair. So lift, open it out, squeeze, nice stretch for the inner leg, to back and down. So let's do that 3 more times. Lift, open, so you're pivoting on the toes, and down. Twice more. Remember to think about that good core, the good position of the shoulders and the head. One last time. Squeeze, working the outer legs, draw it in, working the inner legs, and then back down, shake it out. Over to the other side. Standing up tall. Lift the heel, come onto the toes. Open to a comfortable point. Back in and together. So maybe you're just opening a few inches, especially if you have any hip concerns. Make sure you are not experiencing any pain or discomfort. If you are, modify or even skip. That's 3. And down. And 2 more times, maybe working on the balance if it is safe for you to do so. And last time, open and down and shake it out. One more exercise. So I'm going to stand back over to this first side. I'm going to stand a little bit further away from the chair just so I have clearance for my leg. The leg that is closest to the chair will be the standing leg, hand on the chair for support if you need it. The outside leg, we're going to draw it out. Keeping it relatively straight, we're going to sweep it in front of us. So have the toes lifted a little bit so we don't point the toes down. And then we'll sweep it out and then a little bit back behind, keeping the leg relatively straight, keeping the upright position of the spine. So out and sweep in front, out, and sweep behind. Let's do that 3 more times. If you want, you can even tap the toes down, kind of when the leg is drawn out. And that standing leg has that soft bend in the knee. If you want to work on the balance, it's very challenging on this one. Keeping that outside leg relatively straight. And then down. Whew, shake it out. Walking back to this side, one more exercise. I really feel my legs working, but that's a good thing. All right, so standing up nice and tall, and then the outside leg draws out. Remember, you can tap the toes at this point if you'd like, and then sweep it forward, out, and then sweep it a little bit back behind. Make sure the hips don't twist. Out, sweep it forward, out, sweep it back behind. So let's do that 3 more times, feeling the work of the outer legs, the inner legs, the hip area, the standing leg. Lots happening here. And then I think this is our last one. And then go ahead and shake it out. All right.